guys, welcome back. Sorry for the delay. My life was kind of a mess last week, but we are back. So, coming back to this stocks app, this is where we left last off. Um, so we wanted to get rid of this and actually assert that it is a resource and test the resource itself in another place. So the first thing I want to do is to create a test for the resource itself. So let's go here and say PHP artisan make test. Let's say models, actually resources. Wallet stock resource test. This is the resource that we're testing. So we have it here. Let's get rid of this. Let's use refresh database. Okay, so the user, the stock, and the wallet stock. Let's copy this. And let's say it properly builds a resource. Okay, perfect. Let's import those classes. Let me get rid of this sidebar. Import this one, import this one. Okay, so let's just dump this to check what it looks like. Let's run PHP unit. Okay, we see the wallet stock. Oh, perfect. So we need the name of the stock, we need the average price, the quantity, and the profit. Let me copy this so we don't forget it. I'm going to comment this, just use it as a reference. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is let's see what we expect. So let's say expected data is going to be name Apple, average price. We want to make sure this is a float instead of a string. Quantity 40 and profit 70. Let me see if this data is correct. Add stock. Oh, is this correct? Oh, we didn't do the buy operation, so let's copy this as well. Okay, this is hard. We can, as we are testing the resource itself, we can make this a little bit more simplified. So let's just buy $10. The current price is 12. Actually, let's buy at 24 just to, So we want to buy 10 stocks. Actually, let's buy it at 6. So the average price is 12. We want to have a bigger profit. So we have 10 stocks. That means that if we have 10 stocks at $6, we bought it for $60. Okay, this makes no sense. That would be a call. It's a little bit, that's where I spend most of my time sometimes, thinking about the concepts. So actually, let's say the current price is 12, so we spent $60. It's valued at $60 profit. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, wallet stock, all of that is correct. Okay, stock, user, perfect. So what we expect to see is the name Apple, because we're talking about an Apple stock. The average price is supposed to be 12. The quantity is 10. We have 10 of those stocks, and the profit is, let's actually add a profit per share. So the profit per share is 6. This might be useful. And the profit per share is just the profit divided by the amount of shares you own. Okay, let's get rid of this. So we want the resource to return this. So let's take a look at the resource class. Okay, so it's pretty clear that we want to call this toArray method. So we can pass an empty request, you know, but there's another way to do this, and that's what I like to do. If we dive into the JSON resource class, and let's just see a little bit of what it has. To be honest, I do not remember this by heart. I usually create a few helpers to use this. Let's go to delegates to resource. Oh, this is not it. Implement array access. I think it does have a resolve method. I'm not sure. Let me see. Collection. Okay, it has this resolve method. So let's call it and see what it returns. So let's create the resource. So wallet stock. Just call it resource. Wallet stock resource. And we want to pass our wallet stock. Let's pass a fresh instance of it. Actually, let's refresh it before we do anything. Okay, let's put this here. And let's dump this. Let's see what we have. Okay, we have the wallet stock resource. And if we dump after we call the resolve method, we have an array, and that's exactly what we want. So the profit is wrong, because if I bought a share at $6 and it is now valued at 12, then theoretically you made $6 per share. Okay, let's see what is wrong here. Let's finish the test first. So what we want to do is to make sure that we expect this array to be on the resource resolve method. And okay, so average price is wrong. We got a 6. Oh, okay, I was getting confused. The average price is actually your average price. So just to make things a little bit, you know, real, let's say you bought 10 at 5 and you bought, I don't know, oh god, you bought 10 at 7, so your average price is 6. So average price should be 6. Your profit should be 120 actually, and you should have 20. Okay, so average price, we're getting a float. That makes sense. Profit is on minus 120. Okay. Let me see. Wallet stock resource. Oh god. Let's see how we are calling this. So average price. What is the average price? $13.75. What? Total bought. Number of format. Okay, number of stocks. Doesn't make sense. I don't know. So 40 stocks. Oh shoot! We are actually looking. We are dumping stuff from the wrong test, I would say. Okay, let's ignore everything that I've done. We want to run tests for this class only. So I do have a few shortcuts on my keyboard. I'm going to leave it on the description. They were made by Adam Wethen. I do not remember what they are right now. I think it's like this. Yeah. So I can run tests for the class only. But you can run something like this. Oh, sorry. I'm getting jumped. We want to run tests on the test feature resources wallet stock resource. Okay, so let's see. The profit is wrong. Let's ignore the profit per share now. Let's focus on the profit. So let's go profit. Does the formula make sense? Let me see. If we dump the average price and then the stock current price. Okay, 6 minus 12. Okay, this is wrong. We need to have a few test cases. Let's create another test. So let's do a wallet stock test. Models wallet stock test. Let's test this method separately. Get rid of this. So let's go to wallet stock test. I call this derived test. So we were working on the test for the wallet stock resource, and now we are working on the test for the wallet stock itself. So calculates profits when average price is below the stock price. Okay, so we already have some data here. Let's copy this. And let's build our situation here. So we have the stock, we have the wallet. Let's import all of that. Let's use a user price. Let's say 10. The current price is 10. Then you bought 10 shares at 5. So your profit is 10 times 5. You have a $50 profit. So we gotta say that we should expect to see a $50 profit and a $5 profit per share. Let's comment this out for now. Let's run this test. When you have the test name, you can run PHP unit filter. No such table. We forgot to add the use refresh database. Okay, so minus 50 does not match expected 50. Let's go ahead and create another test just for the situation when. Actually, let's leave this for later. We also want to make sure that it gets the correct profit, in that case a negative profit, when the share is below what you paid, below your average price. So how do I do this? The profit is actually 6 here, so I think I have to turn this into a negative. Is that right? I don't know. I don't know math anymore. Let's try this. And sum this. Jesus, it works. Holy shit. I don't know if this is correct. If you know math, I don't know math anymore. I haven't done anything using math, to be honest, in the last 5 years or so. But this should be simple, right? I mean, if you have 10 shares at $10 and then the average price is 15, then you've made a profit. So the formula would be 10 times 10. What? But wait. The profit per share is average price minus what you paid per share. So, and the total profit is profit per share times 10. Okay. Average price minus. Yeah, that's correct. No, the stock price. That's what I mean. Stock price per share. Okay, so Jesus. So let's do current price minus Average price. The average price is, okay, let's add some documentation. Get the average price per unit of share. Oh, per share. I don't know. I'm sure it's a unit already, I think. Returns a float. We need to know what each one of those functions do. So I really think sometimes they are self-documenting, but I don't think I chose the best verbiage here. So actually, let's change this. Let's call it average price per share. So it would be this times the quantity of shares you have, right? Creations by some. Okay, let's try this. Okay, it works. I don't know what we were doing wrong, but this formula get the total profit on the stock. Float. Okay, so we also want to know the profit per share. It should be 5, so let's add this method. Profit per share. So we just say stock current price minus average price per share. That should be correct, right? Okay, it works. And now we can refactor this a little bit. We can just say profit per share times the quantity. Let's run this. Okay, cool. So we have the test passing. We see what we expect. Let's copy this and create a situation where we are on a where we are losing money. So let's say it properly calculates a negative profit. So current price is 10. Let's say we bought it at 20. So we are losing $10 per share. Okay. It should be minus 50. This is wrong. Let's see amount and price. So we want to buy 10 at 20. So we want to buy 5 at 20. How do we have it here? Is this correct? Buy 10 stocks at 5. Oh, this is wrong. 10 stocks at 5. So let's buy 10 stocks at $15. So buys 10 shares at $50, which means you're losing $5 per share. If you have 10 shares, you are losing $50. Okay, so we should have minus 5 and minus 50. Let's run this one. Let's run the whole file. So wallet stock test. Oh, wait a second, I forgot to. I'm running on the global. Okay, so we have to test and they're passing. This one's passing already. That's cool. For assertions. Oh, let's also make sure that it returns 0 when you don't have any shares or when it's returns 0 profit when the average price is the same as the stock price. So you might think, why am I writing this? It's pretty obvious, but I mean the code's pretty obvious. But sometimes when you don't write tests and you change things in the future, you end up breaking things. And if we have this test, we can make sure that if we buy a stock at the same price it is valued right now, we'll always get the proper result. So let's try this one. Okay, it passes. And let's add one more. So you might think, wow, why do you need so many tests to be future proof? It returns 0 when you do not have any shares. You need to be future proof. What guarantees you that if you do not write those last two tests, you won't change something in the future, it will break your code and you won't know. So you gotta be prepared. So current price is 10. Let's not buy any stock. We want to add it to our wallet, but we don't want to buy anything. Let's add a comment. Do not buy anything. We refresh it. We want to see 0. And you see, I would miss this. I would miss this. I wouldn't see this. So this is really, really important. So let's go to our code. Wallet stock. Where is it? Okay. Division by 0. Line 60. Okay. So what we can do is if the number of stocks is 0, return 0. I would rather do an early return here, so let me think of a way to make this better. I don't know if this is going to be more legible, but what we can do is if I don't know if this works. No, it does not. Yeah, I think this one looks fine. Let's try it. And it's failing. What is failing? Profit per share. Let's see, profit per share. Average price per share. Average, it should be 0. Oh, okay, got it. Okay, so if the quantity is 0, but we are calling this, oh no, we only call it once. Okay, that's fine. So if the quantity is 0, we just want to return 0. Okay, it passes. Let me see what I can, where do we call profit? Profit per share quantity. What if the quantity is 0? It's going to be 0 times 0. Can you do this? I don't know. Can you do this? Okay, you can do this. Oh, you cannot divide by 0. Forget it. I'm so dumb. But yeah, so we have this test, and it looks really nice. So let's go back to our wallet stock resource test. So we already know the profit works. We want the profit per share. Let's run this test. So let's do vendor being PHP unit filter. Call to undefined method average price. Okay, we changed this. It is now average. I don't know. Average price per share. So we are missing the profit. It should be a float. The profit per share should be a float as well. Let's run this. The profit per share is still missing. Let's set it. And now it is a breeze. Let's do profit per share. Okay, it works. This is really nice. Perfect. Now let's go back to our stocks controller test. So vendor bin PHP unit filter. The array is wrong. What? Profit, the actual is minus 70. Is that correct? So okay, we have an issue here. So the current price is 12. Then the average price is, what is wrong here? It should be correct. I don't know. By 30.15. We are getting a we expect 70, we're getting. Average price is 13.75. What is the share price? Let's see. Share price. How do I see the share price? Okay, that makes no sense. It's 12. I mean, oh, we are losing money. We are losing money. Okay, this makes sense. So if the stock is now valued at $12 and our average price on it is 13.75, we are losing money. I'm so dumb. It was correct. So let's change this a little bit. Let's bring down our average price to 11. I don't know. Let's bring it down to. So it's 12. Let's say we bought 20 at 10 and then we bought 20 at 12. So our average price is 10. So sorry, our average price is 11. So okay, so average price is 11. We have 40. So profit should be 70. Okay, no, that's not 70. That's 13.75 minus. Okay, I don't know math anymore. 110. Okay, cool. We are actually here, right? We are running the wrong test. Guys, forgive me. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Actually, let's get this rolling again. No, we were in this one. Okay, we were running the wrong test. Were we? We were running the wrong test. Let's forget this one for now. Let's focus on this one. Filter, let's talk research test. Okay. So, wow, we've already tested this one, so it works perfectly. Okay. Let's go back to this one. So, average price should be 11. Quantity profits 110. We got 40. What? That makes no sense. I mean, that makes absolutely no sense. Average price is 11. Oh, I'm so dumb. This is getting me confused. So let me write this down. Stock current stock price is $12. Our average price is times 40 equals 40. So we are profiting $1 per share. Okay, it works, but first of all, if we go to the stocks controller, we need to. By the way, one thing, you might see that we are not asserting for the profit per share with the tasks to passes. If we want to do an exact match, you can say assert exact JSON, and then it's going to fail because it does not have the profit per share. Okay, so we want to use this notation. I'm going to show you guys how to do it and how to assert that it is the exact JSON. So let's get rid of this and instead let's use this. We already have a test for the wallet resource, so we know it works properly as it should. And now instead of doing anything, we can just assert that we get the proper response. So let's run this. Okay, assert resource does not exist. What we can do is, if we go to test case, we can add a macro to the test response class. So if we go to create application, before we finish creating, we can do add macros, something like this. So guys, we can add a macro here. I had to leave for a bit. So if you do not know what macros are, they are ways that you can add methods to classes, to objects. Not all classes are macroable. There is a, you can implement this one. You can use this trait from Laravel, which allows you to add macros. But if we go here and we see we're doing the assert resource, and if we dump this, let me show you guys. You can see that it is a test response class. Okay, and the test response class is macroable, right? So we can add methods to it, even though this method does not exist on Laravel. So we can do test response macro, assert resource, then we pass a function. We need the resource itself, so we pass it as a parameter. And let's dump this. Okay, cool. We see the resource. So what we want, I copied this from another project. I just checked my files. So we want this. This is what I use. Let me copy this and explain it to you guys. To be honest, I did not remember this by heart. I actually had to cut a little bit of the video because I was getting confused here. But this is pretty much what we are going to do. So we added this macro. When we call this in this situation, we are inside the test response instance. So we are calling the assert exact JSON method from test response. And here's where a little bit of magic happens. So you have the resource, right? And we talked about the resolve method. If we call the resolve method, we get an array, which is perfect for testing the resource itself. But when we return responses using resources, Laravel wraps them in a key. The default key is data, so your response look like data something, and then your data. And this array does not have it. Sure, you could assert something like data, something like this. But if you go to the resource and you call the response method, see what you get. You get a JSON response with the data, and then you can call get data. Let me show you guys. And we can pass through, and we get an array with the data key. If we pass this as false, we get an object, but we want an array. So this works perfectly. And then we return the object itself, the instance itself, because then you can chain it. So if you want to do assert resource and then assert OK, let's run this. It works, and we are doing two assertions. And you can even go further, and I like to separate it. I like to do the action and then do the rest, but you can keep it chained, so something like this. I prefer to leave it separate. So yeah, right now we are testing the resource itself. So we already have this tested somewhere else, and we are very confident that it works properly. We have 4 tests here. No, we have 2 tests here. No, we have 1 test here. I'm dumb. But we do test the wallet stock class itself, where we do have 4 tests. So this is a very good test file. We are testing all the situations that we can think of when we have a profit, when we have a negative profit, which there probably is a word for this, a loss. We are testing when we have 0 profit, and we are testing when we don't have any shares. So the last thing I want to do is add some doc blocks. So This one's pretty much self-explanatory. Get the current number of stocks by decreasing sell operations from buy operations. Remember that you can be short on something. You can be short on a stock, so you can be negative. You should return an integer. Okay. For each price per share. Okay, that's it. And that's it, guys. So if we run this now, we have a couple tests running. All of them are passing. And let's commit this as lesson 2. That's it, folks. Hope you guys enjoy this lesson, and I hope it helps you guys somehow. Thanks so much for watching, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.